Google Photos, YouTube, and Search. Google says the feature is optional and users control what data it can access. That's our report for you. Our next newscast this morning's on 2. Don't forget to stream the latest in news, weather, anytime on that Fox local app. For all of us here at KTVU, I'm Mike Meeback. Thanks for watching and have an amazing night.
Welcome to another edition of your favorite show, Like It or Not. And I am your host, Brian Gallo. Look at this. So we're talking about the Tall Guy Show. Let's zoom out and show our friends at home what we're talking about. You're shrouded in just a shadow. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Welcome back, man. We've got lots to talk about. Welcome back. Have a seat, guys. So, as most of you know, now we're going to pop up the faces.
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Now, there we go. Let's show the face. Somebody knows you already. They know your face. They know both of your faces.
What's up, beautiful people out there?
There we go. There we go. So, you know, we always change the theme here on Like It or Not. So today we're talking about dudes with extra height, right? Kind of an interesting topic to talk about. And let me warn you, we are going to have some cliche questions here, so just bear with us. And with that said, what is it like being you, as far as being, what are you, 6'9"?
6'11".
6'11".
Hey, don't short me.
My bad. I
Wow.
just 2 inches off of you. Well, it's interesting, me being 6'3", 6'4", looking up to you, I can't gauge how tall you are. What is it like being 6'11"?
It is a conversation starter. No matter where I go, I always have a friend. So being tall when I was young, it was hard.
Right.
Because I didn't have a place to put it. But I think basketball coming into my life when I moved to the United States, it gave me something to work on, made my height purposeful, and then it gave me confidence in height.
And here you are now. Where did you move from when you said you came to the United States?
I moved from Nigeria.
Nice.
I was 14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so until then, I didn't know that my height was important.
Yeah. I mean, for me as well, I mean, I'm not nearly as tall as you, but you can probably relate. When you're growing up, you do feel like you stand out.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Sometimes
I mean, all of us here at this panel, we can relate to that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a tall panel.
What's it like for you? I mean, has tall always been an attribute, or did you ever not like being tall?
You know what's funny for me is when I was 13, 14, I was 5'3", same height as my mom.
Whoa.
I didn't get tall till I got like 17, 18, 19. And there's an international club called the Lions Club, and it was men over 6'2" and women over 5'10". So my whole life, I'm like, I want to be at least 6'2", so be on the Lions Club 6'2". Then I got 6'3", 6'4", so I was like, okay, I'm in. But I was the same height as my mom at 5'3"3/4" when I was like 15. I didn't get tall till later in life.
Do you remember growing pains?
I still have them.
I'm about to say, I feel like it never goes away.
It never goes away. It never goes away.
All right, former NBA player, so you've got a very colorful past and present. I want to hear a bit about this food and beverage venture that you're moving into. Tell the folks at home, tell me a bit about what you're doing.
So I moved back to the Bay. I used to play for the Warriors. I left, retired, and then I came back in 2022. And I came back to work with the Warriors, with NBC Sports Bay Area. And when I moved back, I just saw a lot of restaurants were struggling. Since COVID, a lot of restaurants were struggling. So I would just take a camera to these restaurants like, hey guys, this is a cool restaurant, it's a cool story. I'll tell whatever the story was. And it just turned into a whole thing. Now it's a page on Instagram, it's called Festus Feasts. This is about a year ago I started this page. We just crossed 100,000 followers.
Wow.
Every 10,000 followers, I take 10 random people from the internet out to dinner. And it's been so amazing because at first I was nervous. I didn't know who was going to show up at this dinner. My team would pick them. But then the funny thing is that these groups have started to hang out by themselves. So it's a building of community. It's a way for us to support local restaurants. And it's been a fun journey. But I got to work out every day because there's so much food everywhere I go now. I'm like the food guy. So when I get to the restaurants, people get nervous. So they like bring out all the food at the same time. It's insane, but it's also amazing.
Okay, wait, so I'm hearing two different things. So one is you blanket the Bay Area and you check in on new restaurants, and you also host essentially meetup groups. Is that
I check in on all restaurants. Like new, old, it's just about telling the story of the Bay. The reason why I started doing this was because I wanted to support restaurants. But at the same time, I saw people talking smack about the Bay. I thought I would travel all over the world and people would say, well, San Francisco, that place with all the homelessness and all the crime. And I said, well, things like that exist. But that's not the story of the Bay. Like, we got so much culture, we got so much great food, we got amazing people. So I wanted to showcase that.
Wow. And it's interesting because, especially lately, we know that the Bay has been kind of slammed nationally. And my thing is, less is more. Keep that attitude because we're going to keep this to ourselves.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, you'll check it out at Festus Feast on Instagram, and the whole idea. Hopefully, we can have a tall guy panel on Festus Feast.
Well, I'm ready to go.
Ready to go eat?
I'm ready to eat. I'm always ready to eat.
Let's go.
Okay, wonderful. And I want to come back to you a little bit and talk a bit more about that. But let's talk about you for a second, because you're a comedian, right? Mm-hmm. So with your height, when you're stepping into a space and performing comedy, how does that correlate? I mean,
so what happens with me, I dress real nice. I always dress nice. I think I dress professional, which I think a comic should do.
Yeah.
And when I walk into these clubs, especially people don't know me, they think I'm the owner or the bouncer or whatever. So that's the first impression they get when I walk in the room. So then when I get on stage, I dance and act goofy and do goofy stuff to let them know that I'm a comedian, you know? Because when I walk in places, they're like, oh, this guy must be the owner of the bouncer. So I do have to break it down and let people know that I'm just a comic like everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, being tall comes with a certain presence, and people make certain assumptions, right? And we always get like, hey, you play ball? Mm-hmm. I mean, you can actually answer yes.
You know what's crazy? When I go to like weddings and funerals and stuff, and I'm dressed up, suit and tie, I've been walked to the pulpit like 20 times. They walk me to the pulpit, and I'm like, no, because I have a cross or something on, and they always think I'm a pastor or something. I'm like, no.
Position.
I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
Hey, you do have a dignified look, though. Every time when I saw you this morning, I was like, oh, am I in trouble? What's happening? Like,
People say that.
is he here? Is he here in charge?
It's like a different thing. It's like
The answer is yes, you are in trouble. Let me cut you off. And, we're going to send you off to break. Stick with us. A little more Like It or Not coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Well, eventually it ain't gonna foot.
You see, we're having fun here on Like It or Not. And so we're talking about being tall and what that is like. So most of you at home probably can't really relate because I'm 6'4", you are 6'11", and you are 6'5". All right. So let's talk a bit about fashion and like what that's like. So what size are your shoes?
16, size 16. You know what's crazy about that is I did not, when I was young, I just thought I had to fit into shoes. Like whatever was available to me. Because there's no size, when I was young, I was size 14 before I left Nigeria. And there was no size 14 anywhere. So I would just fit into shoes like this. My toes would just, I just thought that was the,
You thought that
the
was
way
normal.
of the, yeah, that was the way of the tall man. And shout out to coming to America and finding my size. And this is part of the reason why I go back every summer. Because for the tall kids, I try to bring shoes back to give them opportunity, give them clothes, give them shoes, so they don't have to live that life, because it's really hard that way.
So that was my question. You just answered it, but I want you to elaborate on that a little bit more. How can you turn that into philanthropy?
Oh man, there's so much that we get to do. Every year I go back home. I go back to Nigeria. I go to Cameroon. Me and my best friend from college. We used to think to ourselves, man, we're so blessed. We had an opportunity to come to America, and being here, basketball changed our lives. It gave us not just take away the fact that I got to play basketball for a living. It just gave me a community. It made me feel like my height was purposeful. It gave me clothes that can actually fit me. And so I want to do the same thing for the next generation. I just want to make them feel like they can be confident in their own skin. People see me on TV, they say I look fashionable, but part of the idea is I want tall people to feel confident in their own skin. Like I want them to feel like, yo, I can also dress too. So every year I go back, I do a leadership camp for young kids. Tall kids are a part of that too. So I bring back clothes, I bring back mentors, and people come and speak to these kids. I
want to go.
Yeah. So you come back to Africa with us.
I'm
this summer
serious.
and teach the kids about, you know, you could teach them about comedy and being skillful at your words and using standing out. You could teach them about being on TV.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah, that would
All
be great.
Okay, listen, you all have to hold us accountable, okay? The three of us, you'll see us heading back to the motherland. All right, so, and I want to find out the challenges of actually buying clothes, but tell me a bit about you. You wear size
15.
So similarly, you've always had challenges trying to find clothes, right?
Yeah, my mom told me if it ain't 12 inches, it ain't a foot. So that's why I wear more longer than a foot. But
This
listen,
is a morning show?
I'm glad you included that. Thank you.
Hey, my mom, we were poor coming up. So, you know, they used to have, you go into the stores and they had tennis shoes and stuff in bins.
Yeah.
So my mother said, I dig through the bin. She'd dig through the bin and she grabbed shoes out and they're like 10, 11. They really weren't big enough. So it took a long time to find shoes that fit me. And like when I was younger, I was a 12, 13, and now I'm about a 15. But clothes is real hard for me, you know, trying to find clothes. And then once I find something I like, I buy every color.
Yeah, you stick with it.
Once I find a maker or a brand or something that fits me comfortably, I buy them in every color so I can, you know, mix and match.
Okay, we haven't even done a like it or not yet, so I need to get to that real quick. We will get there. But let's talk a bit about flying. Flying is tough when you're tall. First of all, like it or not.
Do I like flying? No, I do not like flying.
I fly if I have to. I don't like flying. I don't see nothing fun about flying.
There's no tall people can't enjoy flying. You can't fit anywhere.
What if you were shorter? Would you be able to think?
Oh, I would love it. Then then you can lay down in the beds. Actually, otherwise I'm laying. Sometimes people think, yo, you could just fly in business class. No, I lay in the seats and my feet are like this on the wall. Yeah.
So even at your most comfortable space, it's still not
it doesn't
tolerable.
fit. So it doesn't change anything for me. The fact is,
so you hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But you still go back to Africa every.
I have to. It's part of my purpose. So yes.
All right. And you hate it, obviously.
Well, you have two choices. I can spend 3 days driving back to Boston, where I'm from, or I can spend 5 hours cramped on an airplane.
5 hours cramped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every single time. I mean, my son played overseas for 15 years, and I've never gone over there because of them 12, 13-hour flights. Yeah. I know. It would be too much for me. I already know.
I get it. Listen, I love to travel, and I don't let that stop me, but it's hard on our bodies.
There's some good food out there, too. So,
there is good food.
That motivation.
And I have girth, too. I'm not just tall.
No, I know. It's a different game for you because you're tall, but then you're also, so you're, I'm going to keep me nice and svelte, keep my body the way it is. All right, so let's talk a bit about fitting into pictures. I think this is a silly question, but I mean, when you're...
Well, you saw the frame. When you came into the frame just now, I was fitting. I did not fit in the picture.
So what does that feel like? Do you feel left out? Does it feel weird?
I just got to zoom out a little bit.
It just is what it is.
Take a picture of us. You just got to zoom out. No, taking the picture. You know what's funny, though? I think, tall people, sometimes you got a tendency to slouch because you want to fit in with the rest of the crowd.
Yes.
And I think it's really important that you stand tall. Like, that's like part of my whole thing is like trying to show the kids like, yo, stand tall. That's part of your whole brand. And even in pictures, like I try to make sure I stand tall so people can see me.
Yeah, but but standing tall and posture has a lot to do with confidence, and you exude confidence. I think for a lot of people, it's not that easy, but that's really good advice.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let your posture dictate and go from there, especially when you hit a room, right?
The world is not built for tall people.
No, it is
Everywhere
not.
you go, and you talk about traveling. That's why I love Europe.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me because when I go there, everything is like this. Like I gotta like going through cars, like you're like this every time. So I can see how those tall people would grow up just being like this all the time. Because
Have you ever, like, say, I know you've been to Asia.
I have not been to Asia.
Okay,
but
well-
it's actually one of my it's my mecca for food.
Gotcha.
Can't wait to go.
Well, I was using that as an example of a country, or rather a region, where folks aren't used to seeing people that look like us, especially with height. So what do you do when somebody is almost taken aback and maybe scared by your height? That's happened before.
I mean, that's happened everywhere.
Yeah.
But my dad is 6'6". My dad went to China, and when he was over there, people were, because he's bald, and people were chasing him around. They thought he was Kobe Bryant. Kobe! They were chasing him around. Kobe! So I would only imagine that if I went over there at 6'11", that people would just be chasing me down the street, even if I was in the car. They would
sure.
just think they would assume that I was somebody.
And people probably, when they see you, the first impression is that you're intimidating, right?
What's funny is where I live at, there's not a lot of people of color where I live at right now. And people that come to the door, especially salespeople. When I'm at home, I got a tank top on and basketball shorts. My whole body is tatted up. So they ring the bell and knock. And when I open the door, the first thing they do is take a couple steps back and they go, because they're not expecting me to answer the door.
Yeah.
And I say, no, I don't want to buy anything. They're like, okay, and they leave. They're not expecting me to answer the door, and then especially the way I look, they're like,
Just Debo, just
they're
Zeus
like, what
Lister.
the-
just-
Hey, okay, I don't want no problems.
Oh, yeah, and I'm a nice guy. I'm a teddy bear.
You really are. And that when I first met you, that's the best thing about you, is you present like, this hard guy, but you're a sweet, solid softy. It's okay, I
Don't
can
say
say that,
sweet.
right? All right, see what? You see how I was leading into apology?
Like, please, I don't want no problems. There you go.
About to get my butt beat. All right, we're going to send you to break. You know what we're doing here, like it or not, your favorite show. We'll see you in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We were talking about this. This is 1'6", size 16. Do we
Size
know how-
16, baby.
do we know how big Shaquille O'Neal's foot is?
22.
23, 22, yeah.
My goodness.
Insane.
Is there anything, something that you wish you could wear or buy that you can't? Because
All the time. I don't like going shopping. I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't ever go shopping. Like there's no need. It just makes me mad because all you do, you go to the mall, you see stuff that you can't buy, and you can't wear, can't fit in. So yeah, no.
So like it or not, not.
Nah, a
What
lot of
about
my
you?
clothes had to be custom.
So I told you I was 355 with a 50-inch waist, and all the designer stores and stuff, I couldn't even go in there.
Yeah.
I couldn't have no accessories, no nothing. Since I lost 85, 90 pounds, I've kind of overcompensated for it, but it is, finding clothes and stuff is definitely hard, especially nice, stylish stuff like you're talking about. It's hard, it's sweatpants and Levi jeans, and that's about it for a long time.
Congratulations, though. Yo, think about it. 350 with you missed that part. That's insane.
Actually, that is really.
And I was
great.
5 shots a day insulin dependent. Now I'm almost nothing.
I didn't even. You're right. I didn't even trip on that. That's such a feat. So, is it safe to ask how much you weigh now?
Right now I'm 265, but
Wow,
no,
that's 100
no surgeries, no shots, no nothing. Just eating cleaner.
Yeah.
I eat 6 times a day, but I eat cleaner, not all the sauces and gravies and all that stuff. And I work out 4 times a week with trainers and stuff. So
Wow.
I did it for my grandkids, man.
Yeah.
You look great too. So
Oh, look at
whatever it is that you do, y'all just tell me what to do, man, so I can shape both of y'all.
You're just trying to include me, and I appreciate that. All right, so let's continue the conversation about being tall. So this is interesting. I mean, people expecting you to be an athlete. People do make that assumption of you, and I would imagine that might get old, or do you not mind it because it's true?
Okay, so I'll tell you this story. Like, I remember when I moved back to the Bay Area, there's some people, a lot of people didn't recognize me because I played a long time ago. My hair is different. So when I played here, I had short hair, no beard. And I was walking across the street one time in San Francisco, and this guy looks at me, he said, "Are you an athlete?" And at that day, I didn't want to talk, so I was like, "No, I'm not." I kept walking. He like, "Oh, waste of height." And when I thought about that interaction for a moment, it wasn't even about me in that moment. I thought, what if I was 6'11" and I never played? Think about the tall people out there that just didn't play sports. They weren't athletes, they weren't interested. It's just that feeling of you're not enough, right? The waste of height, big for nothing. Those things are things I used to hear when I was young. So playing basketball gave me the confidence. But yeah, if I wasn't an athlete, it would be really hard to be this tall and just move around in the world.
I'm really glad I asked that question. I was not expecting that answer. I thought it would just be like, yeah, it's all good. I am an athlete. I don't mind it. But it's people making assumptions, right?
But think about kids out there who, like, every time, every day, everywhere you go, they ask you, do you play basketball? Do you play volleyball? Do you play something?
Right.
And it's like, if you said no, then you feel like you were doing something wrong.
You feel inadequate.
Yeah, when I moved to the country, that was the first time I got that expectation of,
Yeah.
I'm tall and I'm black, so I have to do something. Even when my first team I ever signed up for, when I moved to the States, I lived in Yuba City. We found a basketball team, back of a newspaper, long story. But I was the only black guy on this team. It was like Indians and Mexicans on the team. I was the first black guy, but I never played. I didn't even know how to dribble the basketball. But when I walked onto this team, they saw me as the hero, like the savior of the team. I never played, so it was so weird. And my first basket I ever scored was against my own team. This is where I started. That's how bad I was.
But again, talking about making assumptions.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
people come making assumptions about you, and 9 times out of 10, they're probably wrong.
Maybe that expectation is the reason why I worked so hard. Because I was like, nah, I got to make sure I'm.
That's kind of how that works. The mind's interesting. That's kind of how
I'm
that
in the
works.
car business, so I'm like the closer. I'm the manager that comes out. So when you're trying to buy a car and they bring this guy out 6'5", 270 pounds, and first thing they do is look, oh, here comes the big guy. First thing they asked, did you play football? Did you play basketball? Did you? And I said, no, I did marbles and I did ping pong and stuff like that. And it's like an automatic response for me because I'm getting it so much. So they start thinking about it. They start laughing. He said, play marbles? And he said, ping pong. I said, yeah, I'm actually pretty good at it.
But that's your go-to answer.
Every single time. You know the crazy part is, guess what sport I was best at?
What?
Hockey. I played goaltender because I'm from Boston. Everybody plays
black
hockey.
folks don't
I'm
play
from Boston.
hockey.
I'm from Boston. Everybody plays hockey.
No, but we're not known to be in that sport.
Exactly. They're thinking football, basketball, but actually I played hockey.
Interesting.
I was a goaltender.
This is why you've been on the show 20-something times, right? This depth.
done everything. Done everything.
It continues to. And he's got 16 grandchildren?
No, I have 5 kids, 6 grands, 17 gods.
There we go. I knew there was a teen somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah.
You talking to you. Never have to miss an episode of Like It or Not. Stream or download us for free on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen. All right, we're going to head to break. I will see you in just a minute.
If you're seeing this
That's what I really want.
Asking me weather questions. Very, very original. Welcome back to Like It or Not, everybody. I'm joined with two familiar faces here in the Bay Area, and we're talking about a bevy of things, but really emphasis on being tall. So those of you that are tall, a lot of this will resonate, and I'm learning new things about somebody else's experience. So why don't you jump in? What do you?
No, I've always wondered, what are the careers out there for tall people?
Oh.
That's actually a segment I would love to do on social media. Just going around everywhere all across the Bay.
Yeah.
Because I've been on a Navy ship. I couldn't fit anywhere. I had to crouch through stuff. I tried to be a pilot. I was like, well, I can't fit there either. When I moved to the States, I was going to be a doctor. And I would have been the tallest doctor in the United States, for sure. They had to adjust every surgery table. That was actually my initial goal. I moved to live with I left my family because my uncle here, he was meant to be my mentor. So I moved to live with him. He's a pediatrician in Yuba City. Uncle Chuck, what's going on? And yeah, when I came here, basketball ended up falling in my lap and I found this new path. But I always wonder all the time, what would happen if I ended up following that path?
That's actually crazy. I think the idea of you being a doctor sounds really cool.
Yeah.
But now you've got me thinking. Do you have an answer to that? What are some
I
professions?
have a buddy who's a dentist, and he's 6'8".
Wow.
And he does kids. He comes in on his knees.
Yeah.
He comes walking in on his knees to kind of break it up a little bit. But the thing about height is, like, he's 6'11". You can't teach 6'11". Either you're 6'11" or you're not 6'11". And the thing with me is, amusement park rides. When I was 300, 350, I couldn't get on amusement park rides. I couldn't sit in booths at restaurants. And to this day, I still don't, because there's not enough room in the booths all the time. So all the stuff that people don't even think about, you know, that they take for granted, is tall people just can't do.
Yeah.
We cannot do. There's no way. I
It's
mean,
true. And it's a long list.
Oh, yeah.
And still, even traveling, for instance, like you were saying, you want to go to Asia. When you do go to Asia, you just wait to see what your forehead is going to look like from bumping into, ceilings.
Oh, that's why I actually
door
grew my
frames.
hair out, because I used to bump into. So when I signed to go to college, I stood up in excitement, right? And when I stood up, I stood right into a light bulb, and it split my head up. I thought it was bad luck. I thought it was bad. So anyway, being tall is amazing. Let's not get it wrong, get it twisted. It's amazing being tall.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things they don't tell you. They don't tell you a lot of things in the instruction manual before you become tall.
I like that question, though. Can you think of a profession that isn't well suited for us?
Well, we know a pilot's not well suited for you for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, even any kind of driving jobs. I'm not trying to be funny, but there's not a lot of cars I fit in. I know there's not a lot of cars you fit in either.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say that